corruption is deadly.
So corruption is trying to push others down and be the beneficiary of the struggling masses.
Wow.
Because explain to me how they can sit down and tell me that a monkey swallowed 200 million naira.
The personal experiences.
I went in there and then, I saw people I knew. They saw me, and then blah, 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 and I was done and gone. And there were elderly people who were sitting there preparing for the Mecca.
A day before you go and download your admission letter, they've sold it to another person.
Today, there are people who have worked for more than 2 decades. And trust me, they don't have savings. It's because of what we are discussing today. People who are mandated with the responsibility to take care of you are editing what is due you.
What we think of anti-corruption institutions.
Banter between OSP and the former finance minister. I always say it in the studio. I see it as we are talking. It's talk. Before you realize 2 years to come, you and I would be like, what happened to the case that, the trust issue, no transparency, no accountability. Wow. If we had picked up the habit of holding everybody accountable for what they do.
Look, let's do the politics. But when issues of corruption come up, especially when somebody has been fingered out, let the law deal with the fellow. You cannot critique somebody who is a government official, no. Then the tax come at you. Bang, 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 bang.
For me, and whenever I see all these things, I feel like it's a format or a stunt.
Wow. You see, we are tired of being accused and we no longer feel the pinch.
And the big question.
How are we able to get out of this, culture of corruption, especially as young people? Because
in this episode of Young Voices podcast, Abdul Razak, Kenny, Irama, and Prince Amdan delves into the harmful effects of corruption on young people in Ghana and Africa. Enjoy the conversation.
corruption has been said to be the biggest enemy in Africa's development. But what does this mean to young people? Today in the studio, I have very, very, very important young people in the studio to help us have a conversation around corruption and its impact when it comes to young people and the broader community as a whole. On my far left, I have my brother Abdul Razak, who is a broadcast journalist. Right. And close to him, I have, y'all know Kenny Mama. Kenny Mama is a youth activist and also co-founder of Tamale Offline Hangout. Right. And the queen of the airways, Irama, is also a broadcast journalist right here in Tamale. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Corruption. First of all, when we say corruption, I'll start with you, Abdulrazak.
Ladies first.
Now you're breaking it.
Ladies first.
When is something good, the ladies want it first. Yeah. But when it's not, they say...
Please, men first.
Today men first.
Yeah.
Well.
Right. Change map.
Right. When you hear corruption in Ghana, what comes into your mind
so
as a young person? Yes,
let me thank you. And also commend you for a very nice studios.
Right.
I think
thank you very much.
This is my first time here.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And well, there we are twins. Right. So for many people who had wanted to build a podcast, they may think it's an easy thing to do.
Right.
The truth is that I've watched this from afar, and I'm like, this is quite a huge thing. Right. What is the brain behind this? Who is helping him do this? And this is my first time entering here, and I should tell you that working in a media space at least for some time now and doing content literally, I understand what you put in here.
Wow.
And the studio, as a matter of fact, looks standard. We've traveled to Accra, Kumasi, and we've seen podcasts. And yours, to be frank with you, it's one of the best I've seen so far.
I appreciate it.
With the little resources and doing it as a single person, it means a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It would then coin me into the proper conversation as to what corruption is really. So corruption in a layman's understanding, is trying to push others down and be the beneficiary of the struggling masses.
Wow.
So there is something that is there for all of us to share. You want to have it by yourself. But in the end, you are giving me pieces and making me feel like you are doing me a favor. And literally, that is corruption. And that is my understanding of corruption. And for me, there is nothing much to corruption than just the literal meaning I have given.
Wow.
So for me, that's how I understand it. And growing up, this is what we've seen, especially in our system, in our society where we live, in our various workplaces or in the industry where we work, the people or the stakeholders or partners we've worked with. These are some of the things we see. What is due you is not giving you. And the peanut that is giving you, people make it look like it's big enough. Meanwhile, the value of what you give is not what in return has been given to you. So literally, this is corruption. And that is why we are where we are. And maybe when we go deeper into the conversation, we'll be breaking some of these things down. But on the surface, this is what it means for me.
Okay, I think that was like, a layman's understanding. Very down to everybody's understanding.
Right.
And I'm glad you explained it like that. But Rama, should I come to you?
No problem.
When you hear corruption in Ghana, what comes into your mind?
Well,
Especially as a young person.
well, like he was saying, not being given what is due me, and when what is due me is giving, I wouldn't say it would like how you put it, but then it will make it looks like, oh, I have done you a favor.
Yeah.
So you should be appreciative and overworking for it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I see corruption as not doing the right thing in any aspect of life, be it relationships, be it your personal life, work life, and even how you interact with
other people.
Not doing it right, trying to act smart on something to gain the upper hand over the other person you are having whatever relationship with is what I call corruption.
Right.
And I think it digs deep into our souls and our minds. We have been, should I say, brainwashed to make it look like it's a normal thing to do. It started off as a child. You remember all of us, we were babies before. Our parents are going out. We want to follow. Go to the room. Go and bring your sandals. I'm waiting for you.
Oh, God.
I'm waiting for you. Then before you come out, Mama is gone. Yeah. And then we come back to a sadder part where now even speaking out about being abused is also corrupt.
Yeah.
The perpetrator will gift you something to shut you up. That's corruption. We go to yesterday I went for a program organized by GACC, and then one of the facilitators, one of the participants was trying to argue what corruption is and what is not. And then we were talking about how the FBIs have come into town and they were, arresting some people. And one man was saying, these people, they are saying they are just taking from our...
the grandfathers.
Not the grandfathers, the white people who came.
Yeah.
So they are taking their things back. And we're like, what do you mean you are taking your thing back? The people you are siphoning the monies from, were they here when, it was happening?
Right,
So it wasn't right. So and he said, oh, for me, I'm not corrupt. One of them said, oh, for me, I'm not corrupt.
Sure.
So the woman said, when you go to the hospital, you have a family member who works at the hospital. You are sick. You go and you see a long line. But because you think you have a family there, you go there, you see your family, and then, you go see the doctor.
Yeah.
Corruption.
Is that not corruption? And he said that's protocol.
They've given it a nicer name.
Yeah, so that's why he called that protocol.
Yeah.
And I feel like all of us here have been corrupt one way or the other.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I have entered an office where I needed something, and then I have a friend there who would attend to me quickly before the others who were there before me. Recently, I went to renew my passport. I went in there and then, I saw people I knew. They saw me, and then blah, 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 blah. And I was done and gone. And there were elderly people who were seated there preparing for the Mecca. At some point, I felt bad, but then I said, "Oh, I'm in a hurry. I was at the AWDF program. I had to leave, and then one way or the other, we all have been corrupt one way or the other. But then the thing is, we have normalized it, so we feel those who steal bigger monies are the corrupt ones, but leaving, we
the simple people.
In traffic lights, right? You run the traffic light. You are being corrupt.
And I think we underestimate what corruption really is. Because, just as you said, we usually feel that it's the politicians who steal the bigger monies. They are rather the corrupt.
Yes.
People. Kenny Mama, I don't know what you think about this whole issue of corruption in Ghana and in a broader community society as well.
In the broader society, my colleagues have said most of what I would have already said, but I want to come from a different angle, in the sense that I grew up in a country where corruption is part of your DNA. Like, it's that bad. It's part of your DNA. As a Yoruba person, as an Igbo person, as an Hausa person, immediately you are being identified by your tribe. Corruption automatically enters. Because one tribe is expected to do one thing. Another tribe is expected to do another thing. And the other tribe is expected to be your gatesman and your house cleaner. So immediately you try to bridge that gap, they will find a way to block you. Automatically corruption. Because explain to me how they can sit down and tell me that a monkey swallowed 200 million naira or an elephant came and swallowed money. Animals are swallowing money.
Snakes
Things are happening. Look. And you're sitting there, you're like, oh, it's normal. Like that's how bad it is. Even down to even parenthood. The favoritism that we think we showed some of the kids. Technically, you are corrupting one kid over the other because you are letting one kid know that, oh, you are more important than the other person. So automatically in that person's mind, oh, my mother will always be biased. That's how she is. So in turn, you also grow up to be the type of human being who is automatically biased. And that one too shapes your thinking. It shapes your mode of operandus. It shapes everything that you do as a person. It's rather unfortunate that you are in a country where you've gained admission. You've written the exams. A day before you go and download your admission letter, they've sold it to another person. That is the height of... It has my name on it. But they were able to sell it to another person. When you now even enter the school, you say you are doing the school. You are lucky if you graduate.
Wow.
You are lucky if you graduate. And like every day, the bad examples are so much that it has now become, at some point too, if I don't follow the crowd, I'll be left behind. So they'll tell you, if you cannot stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. You're not ready to cook. Because the system you are in, it will cook you. Politics, the same thing. Nobody, they will find something to dirty you. So there is no way you are going there, you say you are going to change mindset, you're going to be a good person. It's okay. That's corruption for me.
But that gets me scared because, like, just as I said earlier on the normal day, we feel that corruption is like those people who are sitting in offices wearing suits. But if from what you are saying, it means that it's with us, like, true and true. Then the question one would ask is that how are we able to take this out of our because it's like it has, defined our mindset. It has formed a certain mindset in all of us. How are we able to get out of this, culture of corruption, especially as young people? Because they say we are the next generation. Right. If you're also coming with the same, mindset, it means that we didn't go or we didn't come.
We didn't go.
Let me start with you.
So I agree with Kelly and Rama rather. You see, the issue about corruption, if we are digging deeper, it has to do more with, for me, what the major, issues that are defined as corruption. So you look at the major corruptions, which are grant and then the political corruptions. Right. Normally what we see in town are the petty ones, like they've said. So normally, if you look at the moderate ones, like the ones that are institutional, You are in an office and somebody wants to do one or two things. And, So these ones are most of the time, or most often than not, the ones that cost us more than we usually can think about. The petty corruptions are the ones of all of us are involved. The Rama gets to, for example, Tamale Teaching Hospital, and then there's a senior nursing officer.
She has already confessed. So.
Who knows her?
Right.
It's like, Rama, why are you
Is
here?
that you?
Please
Hey,
come to my office.
In the bid to look like you want to help, automatically.
You see, that is corruption, but it is petty, very small. So you are there at the hospital, for instance, and then there's an emergency case, somebody with an accident. They have to bypass you and take care of the fellow. What is genuine? It's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
It's form of corruption. First come, first serve.
Yeah.
He's coming late, but he's coming with a serious condition. You cannot say, because you came in first before the accident victim,
They should take care
therefore
of
they should take care of you before. It's a form of corruption, but it's petty. So these ones, for me, I'm not saying for everybody, I don't consider them as grievous, as negatively impacting us more than the major corruption and then the moderate ones. But be it as it may, corruption in one way or the other is a reason why we are here. Today there are people, let me use my industry for instance, who have worked for more than 2 decades. And trust me, they don't have savings.
Okay.
It's not because the value they give on radio or on television is not good enough. It's because of what we are discussing today. And you see, if you take journalists, you see, forgive my bias, because I'm a journalist, that's why I'll keep making reference to journalism. The profession journalism is not different from lawyers. It's not different from a doctor, from a nurse, from a military officer or a police officer, or whoever it is. But if you look at the condition under which especially journalists live, it's nothing to write home about. It's not because they are not doing much. But who works more than the journalist? But because of this corruption, you see a life of a journalist and you are wondering, why will you take this career as a profession, as your profession?
Right.
So it's because of the corruption. But you look at other journalists outside, other journalists out of our jurisdiction, and you look at the kind of life or their standard of living.
You start to question yours.
You know that, yes, you begin to question yourself whether if you are doing a good job. You are indeed doing a good job. I think there was time I was in Accra, in one of the major TV stations, and we're having a discussion. And how much some of them are paid, and how much allowances they receive also. And don't forget, these guys who are working in the powerhouses are our classmates. Perhaps you are better than them in classroom during those days. But today, because of where they find themselves, and because the institution or their regulatory frameworks to guide how things are done and done well, they are seen as doing better than you. So corruption in one way or the other has affected us. Let me give a very practical example. Sometimes organizations organize programs and then they invite you to come and cover as journalists. Or you go there as a moderator. Or you go there as a facilitator. In the end, not all of them, but people who are mandated with the responsibility to take care of you are editing what is due you. Don't forget.
Yeah, editing.
This, yes.
That's the word.
Don't forget.
That's it.
This fellow, by the nature of the project where you have been invited to cover, it's already been sorted out. Like his has been sorted out. Now yours is editing it.
You ready?
But they are the very people who we invite in our studios for discussion on corruption. And they tell you that our politicians are not doing well. It is not the politicians.
It is you.
So the moderate ones, where we define the institutional kind of corruption, is where he finds himself. And they are the reasons why all of us are where we are. And you see the impact. The impact is so bad that there are people who have families. There are people who have bills to pay. People who have fees to pay. What it means is that the person, after being invited, so for example, we want you to come and moderate a program on corruption. Just yesterday, I facilitated a program on fair tax, on why our revenues or revenues from our district or metropolitan assemblies is not getting to the offices. It took me more than a month to do a research on this. After filing a report on this for so many years. So you ask yourself, if somebody do this kind of job, you have been invited to facilitate a program, the caliber of persons who are coming for the program, and how you want to prepare yourself for the program so that you don't get embarrassed. Then in the end, somebody has been asked to sort you and he is editing what is meant for you. So we as a people, I'm sure, underestimate the impact of corruption.
Yeah.
But to land on that, to give my colleagues the opportunity, for me, I think corruption is attitudinal. So it has to do with our attitudes.
Yes.
What you and I will stay in a room without anybody, without doing, is what defines our attitude as far as corruption is concerned. So if there is nobody in this room and I'm
nobody's
alone,
watching.
when nobody is watching, how do I behave?
Yeah.
And when people are around, how do I behave? Defines my attitude with regards to corruption. And I'm sure many people, when they are put to this test, will fail, especially with anything monetary.
Yeah.
Anything monetary. Well, with monetary issues, that's, for me, like I said earlier, there are so many angles to corruption. Like I said, the grand corruption, the political corruption, which is the major corruptions. If you come to the moderate ones, you have institutional and so on. The petty ones, even though they are corruption, I don't consider them that much. Because in one way or the other, like growing up, your mother leaves the kitchen and you are in the kitchen alone. You check left, right, nobody is coming.
you
You
pick
just
what
dip
you
your
want.
hand and then pick that meat.
Clear
Very
mouth and
hot.
go.
Especially
If you see your mother coming,
especially during the Eid.
you see them coming, the meat is very hot, but the meat has to go in your mouth. So those ones, we laugh over them. But because they are petty. But somebody also told me that the petty corruptions is what builds people
Exactly.
to do the bigger ones.
Exactly.
So no matter how we look at them, corruption is not good for our fiber. And it's a reason, like I said earlier, is why we are here today. Today, people cannot trust people again.
Yes.
There are people today that you go and say, oh, please, I need, for example, 5,000 to pay my fees. He doubts you immediately. It's not that he has a problem you are going to school.
No.
He doubts what you said.
Yeah.
Even there are people you give them, hospital reports, medical reports they call it, or you give them admission letters. They send it home. They still doubt the admission letter.
Yeah.
I think it's because of the experiences they've had with other people.
Yep.
We're in this town, I wouldn't say this country, where a major figure who is an aide to a member of parliament, and the member of parliament trusted him so much that wherever his money is, the person is aware.
I think they told me that story
And
recently.
and in the end, the man had to fire him and bring somebody else because the man trusted it so much. So I'm afraid of the second person who has been employed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we are
What has he
humans. That institution or that behavior or that scenario will still live in his head. That the last time I trusted A or this is what happened to me. I'm not sure I can trust B. And perhaps B is genuine.
Right.
Yeah.
So the impact of corruption on us and everybody, trust me, is doing harm than we ever expected. And that's why we are not growing. Everybody, by HR, what is the name, background, everybody will tell you that you cannot grow without support of others. Everybody needs somebody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even presidents need people. They need our votes to be president. So everybody needs somebody. Today, we are in this very nice studio. It's because perhaps somebody you spoke to that I need a mic. I need a sound card. I need A, I need B. They bring them together and then you are where you are. Everybody needs somebody. But because of what we're discussing today, those supports are no longer coming.
Yeah.
And it's affecting all of us and nobody is out of it. Yeah.
Kelly,
Yeah.
I think one of the areas that is also very critical, especially to young women, is this thing in schools called sex for grades. How does that relate to what we are talking about? I know. I mean, you've been to university and you've seen these things. We've heard about it. I think BBC even did a report
Yes.
some time ago on some of these. How does that also impact like young people in our universities?
Well, for the university setting, it is assumed that the university is supposed to be a fair playground. Everybody has equal opportunities with equal chances. Only for you to get there, the people you taught were supposed to be the people who would mentor, teach you, lecture you, and make you the person that you're supposed to be. It's rather looking at what you are carrying. You are not even aware of it. Unconsciously, you are not aware. Until small things start to enter, and then you now have to now realize that, oh, it means if I don't give it to him, he would frustrate me. Let me give a good example. I have two good examples. One is my own twin sister, Taiwo. When Taiwo was in school, there were two of these lecturers who kept chasing Taiwo. And because I told her that lie is not possible, Mommy didn't bring us all the way from Nigeria to come to Ghana to do ashawo. No. You will not do it, you will never do it, and it will not be possible. They frustrated her to the extent that she kept writing the exams, they kept failing her. She kept writing, they kept failing her. I graduated, during my national service, I still paid for her to write those same exams. Till date, as I'm talking to you, she never got that certificate.
Wow.
She never got it.
She
never got it.
Wow.
Now, if we go and ask them now, why were you failing her? They can't talk. There's nothing to say.
Well, for them, you touch one, you touch all.
Abi, we know now.
So you cannot even go and report in the first place.
And they are too strong lecturers. They are not like people who are well revered.
Wow.
They have schools, they have institutions that they have built from their names. So imagine you, this small girl. Now, the funny thing is, another friend of mine again, Zainab, she was even doing diploma. Diploma is just 2 years. But because of the bunda this girl was carrying, no, they said, they will not release Zainab.
Because of what?
There is,
Bunda.
Bunda. Something that she was supposed to use 2 years to finish. She ended up using 4 years. She even just got angry and went and learned how to do hairdressing on YouTube and started a business.
Wow.
Because at this point, the school has frustrated you.
Yeah.
And this is not just only one story. There was one particular lecturer during my time.
So it
Apparently,
means that is her being denied education.
exactly. You've denied her just that diploma certificate that you would have used to do something. You denied it from her. This particular lecturer took his time, then chopped like quarter of the girls in the class. Then he came to the class to announce that he brought their names, listed them out, that all these people that I've had intercourse with, do not think because I had intercourse with you, I'm going to give you the grade. He trailed them till we graduated.
Good. Tell me.
This was somebody who
Serious.
took himself to them, went and met them, told them that, oh, once you are with me, no problem.
You're safe.
Oh, you are safe. You will be fine. But came back and gave it to them later and made it look like they came to him instead of the other way around.
Wow.
Like, it got so bad, they had to transfer him out of the department because it was like, nah, it is always you. You are always the one with the same issue.
How handsome are you that you think that is
And you are doing that to people's children.
All right.
It's bad.
Before we get to the mitigating factors,
Right.
I would like us to touch a little bit on institutional corruption. For example, the political kind of corruption. Recently, we've heard of the special prosecutor putting the former finance minister on wanted list. How big is the
back and forth
back and
here and
forth
there.
and all of that? How big is these kinds of corruption, and how much does it impact the growth of a country? Because as we all know, corruption is one of the things that prevents Africa from growing or getting to the status of a developed continent.
Yeah.
Like other.
Initially when you asked Razak how we can curb it, and then he was
Right.
going on as There's a petty one, there's a small one, there's a huge one. Yes, there are all that. But for me, I see corruption is corruption. Right? And with the banter between OSP and the former finance minister, I always say it in the studio. I see it as we are talking. It's talk. Before you realize 2 years to come, you and I will be like, what happened to the case that, this is how deep it is. Because they feel like they can go into whatever it is they're going into and nothing will happen to them.
Bam.
That's
We
right.
will talk. We will talk. They will act like they are going to court. They will act like they are taking you to jail and all that. How do you take someone to jail and the person, when they are going to court and the person is so confident and dressed up and waving at people, I'm like, why are you waving?
Thank you.
Who are you
You've
waving?
stolen money.
You know?
Allegedly.
Sorry, yo.
You know? So what are you waving? So I feel like, so whenever I see them, I feel like, have they had a closed door conversation and said, oh, shall we just relax? We won't do anything to you. We just want to let Ghanaians know that nothing will happen.
We are working.
We are working. You see the thing?
That be
So at the back, for me, and whenever I see all these things, I feel like it's a format or a stunt.
Wow.
You know?
It's like games. Feel.
The former minister.
That's serious.
Yeah, for me, that's how I see it. It's a stunt for us to think that, because now for the younger generation, they feel like I can also do whatever I want to do. Nothing will happen to me. If I have someone bigger, I know. I could just pick up a phone and call the person.
You realize a lot of young people now want to be in politics.
Yes, because they
Why do you
there's
think so?
power.
Wow.
Why do you think so? Because
Quick
all
mind.
this, we cannot deny the fact that you did not know that this was happening. This corrupt was happening. Like the Edu Boahene case.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that
Nobody
knew about it.
They know, Papa.
But then now Ghanaians are asking for show work, you want to show work. So you are picking out people to say, oh, we are working. Because tell me why you will invite a former minister. He says, I am sick. Then you have allegedly not giving me any letter or anything that you are really sick to come. Then so come and then we'll talk about it.
Wow.
You haven't come. Then we call you again. You say, I have cancer.
Wait, what? All of a sudden?
Yeah, I have cancer.
Is that how
and
cancer
I'm
normally
going to
grow?
go through surgery.
Oh, sure.
So I was telling my colleague the other morning that this surgery thing, let's take 6 months time. And I don't know, 6 months. I said, wait and see.
Wait and see. Wow.
And before we realized, we're not talking about him again.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
We'll not talk about him again.
Wow.
And then 2 years, somebody will come, hey, what happened to the former?
Oh,
It's gone.
Oh, you go,
You see?
Oh, that show is dead and gone. There's a new one.
Oh, talk.
So we are focusing on the
Yeah,
new one.
this is the recent one, the 3 former GRA bosses.
Ah.
Every day something is coming up.
Wow. We've even forgotten
It
about
will
our
come
NSS
and then we'll
leave.
forget.
Hey, she's my role model at this point.
You
Oh,
see?
she's your role model.
So
Kai.
when it
She
comes there, we
do
talk
all.
about it. It becomes a trendy issue, and so now anything something trendy comes, I feel like there's something hidden
Yeah.
that they want us
Exactly.
not to talk about.
Forget about.
So you see how deep this is going. So if the trust issue, no transparency, no accountability. If we had picked up the habit of holding everybody accountable for what they do, I don't think we would have gone that far.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Because tell me why someone would jump traffic and will still be clapping for the person. Or tell me why someone was still yes, this is last time experience. I got to, it was green, it was red, and I knew it was green, and I knew when I get there, it will be
yellow.
So I was taking my time and going, and someone was speeding. There was
Just
a car
to-
behind
yeah.
me. So the moment we got there, it was red. I stopped, and he was horning at me.
Ah, yes, I read it. It's like,
Wow.
So
Why are you
I just
horning?
ignored. It was one at me. Then the one biker passed. Him and looked at me and was shaking his head. I was like, did I do something wrong? You know, you question everything now.
You are,
Yeah.
Because
you are lucky you were not insulted.
then so that
Oh, no,
I dropped some
plenty.
plenty.
Plenty. No matter.
Wow.
Some actually ask, so are you a villager?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
because
you
she
see,
stopped.
politically, it's deep.
It's deep.
From from campaigning, now electorates will expect what?
Delegates,
Delegates will expect what? Rice or some kinky or
TV and fridges.
Fridges.
or
Things,
call
you know.
me to some restaurant and give me food
Yeah. And
and
voters
take a
will
picture
expect-
with me.
Right.
and you have my vote.
Voters will expect Maggie and some.
Exactly.
This is crazy.
Some Maggie.
But what Erama has been saying points to the fact that there is no trust in our anti-corruption institutions.
Anti-corruption, queer. do those people exist? Are they
They
working?
do.
They
Yesterday, I went for a
exist.
program like that with them. That's the Ghana Anti-Corruption Coalition.
Yeah.
Right.
With the
wow.
Yoko.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then FIC. And they were on how to recover assets. Oh, they took us through all these, and we're like,
Okay,
So what next?
Other than
you're teaching us
Also
that.
then-
What next? And the training is more geared towards the media, because media sometimes we distort stories. As how we distorting stories is what you bring to us. Is what we
always at the
also
receiving end.
corruption
it.
again.
You see the
Corruption
point?
again.
And then I started the example like the one you were saying where it did not give you your
Due.
your due. You let us fill in a form, and then
Yeah, right.
you will not write the amount I am
Amount. Ask
supposed
me
to
to
take.
sign.
You ask me to sign, and then take my Momo number till date.
Wow.
Oh yes, they do that a lot.
When I told my partner, I was like, any corruption, any corruption.
Wow.
It's part of
that's serious.
You see
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean? So
If you want to complain, they say, you think you know you're right.
exactly, and this is where we do not speak out
Yeah.
because to be tagged.
But do you think these anti-corruption agencies are intentionally covering up corruption? Because if what Erama is saying is anything to go by, it means it's intentional.
So don't forget, corruption is a chain. You can't do it alone.
Wow. Wow.
So if you look at the Edu Boahen's case, allegedly we are told he has siphoned a lot of cash and so on and so forth, diverted a lot of money into his accounts. He's been accused of varying degrees of allegations and so on. But as to whether that is true or false, he didn't do that alone. Some of the transfers we've seen, which he has defined as classified, goes to both parties,
Bam.
MPP, NDC,
Yeah,
and people who are influential. And then the explanation he gives us is that some of the issue, especially the ones he has defined, classified, are to protect the security zones and to assist in the security or national security operations of this country. And guess what? When he released the first document, they called him and said, no, it's enough. Some of these information, you don't put it out there. And that is true, which we all agree with. But the point is that there are individuals he has transferred money to allegedly that their names should not come out. Chiefs, diplomats, and so on and so
What
forth.
are you doing right now?
I don't want to mention
them.
the chief's name. Imagine if a chief is mentioned, that in order to maintain peace in a particular zone, the chief or the king has been given huge amount of money. You know what that means?
You've
You are
corrupted him.
underrating the power of that chief. So those things, let's not discuss it. Please, the first paper you've released is enough.
It's okay.
We'll deal with it back door. So it's a chain.
Yeah.
It's possible the chief or the diplomat who has received this huge sum may not know the gravity of what he has received.
Yep.
But the question I always ask myself is that if not worked for something, you are receiving money.
Why are
in
you
your account.
collecting?
You are not
Let
suspicious.
me give you a very practical example. I was working on a project for Media Foundation for West Africa. And one of the requirements was for me to speak to a traditional authority on why his residents or people under him may choose not to pay their taxes. So I officially wrote to Sanarna because of his background. And said, I want to interview him on ABC or D. So he gave me a date and then I went there for the interview. The day I visited him for the interview, we were there when somebody knocked. A lady who lives in Sanargo. And she's been living in Sanargo for so many years. Now when she came with a gift and then presented the gift to Sanarna. And said, oh, she has some gift for Sanarna. And then that's the reason she came. So she just wants to leave. He said, no, she should sit down. Now what is the gift for?
Good.
You see, for anybody who receives money or gift or whatever it is, where is it from?
Yeah.
What is it for?
What
I
is
was
the
there.
purpose?
Why
This
are
is
you
not
bringing-
something somebody told me. Sanana in front of me and his elders asked her, what is your gift for? And then there was a caveat. They asked her that, do you live in San? He said yes. Do you have issues with your land or something? Because I understand where he's coming from. Maybe if you have dispute with your land or house, you are giving me gift.
Yeah.
Indirectly, you are bribing me.
Indirectly, you've corrupted.
So
You
that
know,
when the
he
case
may not
finally
know.
comes,
But he questioned her.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though she did not even utter a word before giving the package. I said, oh, I brought you a gift. I've been living on your land for so many years. I just felt like there's the need for me to give you this package. That's why I brought it, but there's nothing to it. And he said, well, I wanted my elders to hear.
hear.
Journalist is here, I want him to also hear. That's why I asked you.
Right,
But the question
right.
is, how many people ask these questions before they receive gifts?
Okay.
Imagine the pack, you are there and then brown envelope is dropped. You pay, Charlie, pick this thing.
Now
You
there is
pick,
white.
where is it from?
Now it's
What
white.
is
now
it?
it's white. It's white. It's
Oh,
not
it's
brown
not
anymore.
white.
It's
It's not
white
white.
and fat.
Oh, white and very fat.
So that is the challenge.
Right.
So if you look at the issue you asked Irama, issue of the former finance minister, issue
You're
of
right.
the what the OSP, I
You're
mean,
right.
Yoko, for example,
Right.
what is the name? What is the MPP's regional chairman in Kumasi?
Wontumi.
Wontumi.
yeah.
Issues of Wontumi in Yoko and national security.
National service.
And then you come to national service.
Oh,
And
hey.
You know, some
My
of the
mother,
issues-
my mother.
All of us here, I'm sure all of us did national service.
Yep.
Then sometimes you ask yourself, somebody has over 100 pins. 100 pins. Somebody has 100.
Just one
Me
person.
open
just one person.
calculator. No, this one, sometimes you have to
So
be
you
intentional.
If somebody has
that's
100
that's five.
and
five.
he's selling them out. He's selling the pins. So Rama, Charlie, I have pins. So, oh, Charlie, I need it. Papa, give me 50. So, oh, no, you guys are many. So I'll give you 20. He gives you 20. He's giving the number. How much is national service today? It's 7.15. 715 Ghana cedis.
15
So
times.
he knows how much is coming.
Subhanallah.
But hey, Rama, how much are you buying it? Then you negotiate.
71,000.
Then he gives you, maybe you will buy it
It's
at
okay.
500 or 400. He's selling the pin to you at 400 or 500 per house.
So 500.
In the end, when it comes, you are going to get a profit out of it.
10,000.
So this is what is currently
crazy.
ongoing.
It's
It's
okay.
crazy.
You understand? The current government is telling us that they are resetting. What I always say is that, look, let's do the politics. But when issues of corruption come up, especially when somebody has been fingered out,
Let's deal
let
with
the
it.
law deal with the fellow.
Aha.
Don't think that it's my party person. No. When the party person was spending the thing, where were
Where
you?
Where were you?
Damn.
That is why I don't
You see,
get
those
how
who
those
even-
picketing at the Yoko office or whatever, and then I want you to
You see,
sit down and all.
today those who even make noise the more
They are the people.
are the ones who are using our type of phone
Yeah, the hungry
and
ones.
ranting 24/7
We
on
know.
social media. You can make a point. Look, you can make a comment and say, this person is wrong. Or criticism. Don't say it's even wrong. You cannot critique somebody who is a government official. No. Then the attacks come at you. Bang, 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 bang. Literally, it's a strategy to distort you or to make you lose focus. But trust me, if you truly want what is right for us, let me give you a practical example again. Look at what is happening in Tamale. Enter Tamale and see the congestion. And you cannot speak about it.
And
then
the
you talk and
dirt.
they tell you that the current mayor, who is Mr. Abu Tokoro, Honorable Abu Tokoro, is new in the system.
I don't get that
Your
excuse.
colleagues are working.
I don't
How?
get that
Go to Tamale.
excuse.
You see, God in his own way is doing things differently. If not, we wish he can do it the way we want it.
That one, dear.
Look at the congestion in Tamale. God forbid. If a car fails to brake and then comes through that, especially for those who sell
God
under the,
forbid.
what's the name?
The flyover.
flyover. Everybody is gone.
Oh.
So we are waiting for these people to die.
Before we not.
Then
Before,
mayor will
Abi.
visit the family and say, Charlie,
We are so sorry
accept
for
our
your
condolence.
loss.
We are
Now-
so-"
now-
and
now-
guess
now-
what? Then
now
he gives them a
now
bag of
indeed.
rice,
Now
perhaps
indeed.
with an envelope. Now Rama says now white. He gives them that envelope and it is done. Your family is gone. Now the problem is the enter Tamale and see. Yellow, you ask yourself, why are they now parking under the what is in the flyover?
flyover.
When the flyover was not there, where were you parking?
Exactly.
Look, if you go, we are talking about corruption. Now, for those of you who know STC, directly outside the yard, there's a car park.
Yes.
Now, who gave them that authority? We are told they pay something to assembly. Who receives that money? Now you sit there and you make everything look like it is somebody's fault. The mandate has been given to you. Deal with it. There are people there. This is just a command. Go there and tell them you don't want to see them the next day. Everybody is gone.
Everybody will clear.
Anybody who wants to find space should meet you in your office and you deal with the problem. But you are waiting over there. Look, there are bigger trucks plying there every day. Imagine you are on a bike and then there's traffic.
And look at the rate of accidents in town
Massa.
today.
How many people died quite recently?
I've been
Lightning
talking about
system,
it.
everything, basa, like they say. But you can't speak about it. Immediately you talk about it,
They will come
they
for you.
align into
Branding
a
you.
political party. Oh, this guy is talking like this because he is MPP or NDC. So must we wait for I wish my
is
family
how
will not
deep-
die in this. So me I dey pray. Me I dey pray. I dey pray give
Right.
God.
This is how
And you
deep
see,
the
in Tamale,
corruption
you
is.
cannot be too careful. You
Look,
are riding, you are not safe.
Yeah,
you are
you are
walking,
standing,
you are not safe.
look.
Whatever
You are
not
bicycling,
safe.
you are not safe.
You think you are riding safely, then
And
somebody
then
will
I will
foolishly
make
come and
I will
shoot you.
make a post or I'll make a comment and they'll come and tell me that why are you writing? Are you from here? Are you Dagomba? They'll even take it as far as am I a Muslim? I'm like, look at this TTH matter that happened. I'm supposed to just shut up and keep quiet. So the day my own family will go there and they die, that's when you people will know that it's affecting everybody.
This is how deep corruption is affecting all of us.
But I mean, aside from the fact that we know what it is and how it is affecting us, how do we deal with it as young people? I mean, we all are leaders. I mean, in our various spheres of what we do. How do we, in our own small way as young people, try to, I know it's difficult, but what can we do to kind of, at least
Manage it.
manage us?
Manage it. Yeah, we can manage. Completely curbing it, I doubt
I
it's
doubt
never
it,
happening.
no.
It's never happening. That one they will have
For
a
that
back
one,
man.
yeah.
It is never happening.
Maybe after my children's generation.
It's never happening.
It's
but
not now.
then we like he said, it's attitude now. We need to take it upon ourselves. That this is how I want to live my life. And by example, people watch you. People see you do things.
Even your
Very
children.
Yes,
Observe how you
they will
behave.
pick up. They will pick up on what you do. This is how I do my things. Sometimes you sit in the studio and you don't know even who is listening to you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a certain person comes in and says, "I've been listening to you a lot, and you've been impacted." This is how it makes me, direct my presentation and how I present myself and how I do my things and how I campaign for other things. I feel like, okay, these are the kind of caliber of people that are listening to me. I can also use this to change and then draw them into the goodwill, positivity, and all that. It's hard, but as an advocacy, talking about it, creating awareness, and living an exemplary life. It's hard. I won't lie you. Even you now that you are living an exemplary life, somebody can bring white envelope and you will collect it. Because, like he said, it's hard.
Yeah. But we have to try.
Yesterday, one director from Yoko who was facilitating was asking that do we know that of all the profession, journalists are the poorest everywhere? Then everyone would say, "Oh yeah, we know." Yeah. Then he asked, why are those in Accra? There are some living in Trasacco. There are some living. Where are they getting
It's
those
in the money.
monies from?
Exactly.
Are they better than you, the journalists that are here?
V8. And we are struggling on smoked motorbikes.
Renting.
You see that
Plus,
thing?
and your smoke is everywhere.
Then one guy
gone.
opened his mouth. Oh, they are seasoned journalists.
Oh,
I look at
seasoned
them. I'm like,
Who is that one?
seasoned what?
What is
You
the
did not give
definition
him
of a
size.
seasoned journalist?
What is season
They
in
are
the journalism?
seasoned journalists. I'm seasoned. I'm like, okay. So
Oh.
we have seasoned and unseasoned.
Yeah, apparently.
Spice and unspiced.
No, we have seasoned and unseasoned.
Right.
So you see how deep it is. Everybody has an explanation for something.
Yeah.
You want to talk about something, and then he wants to give you a reason why this is happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's now up to us, we those who want to see things done right, to start doing the right things. It's hard, but we'll start doing bit by bit.
Yeah.
Then for the younger generation that are coming, that are looking at us, will also start
Probably
picking
they'll
up.
Pick up
And
from
this,
us.
I see this person doing this. It's not right. It's not right. It's not good. We all do that, and we'll do it right. I think bit by bit, we'll somewhat.
And I think just the awareness
Yes,
alone can
yes.
help us improve the way we
Exactly.
behave.
The more we talk about it, the
Right.
more we ask for accountability, transparency,
Mm.
that we make the younger ones know that it is your right to ask
Right.
Yes.
if you see something going wrong.
Yes.
Ask that
That's a very
question.
important
Why is this happening?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't just look on.
And see it to be normal.
Exactly. Don't just look on. I tell that to my niece and nephew. They'll be like, I'll ask him, you have a question. But auntie, it's okay.
Why is it okay?
Why is it okay?
Why won't you
At the
say
back of his
it?
mind, he feels she feels
Yeah.
if she asks, I will shout and then get
Or it's
angry.
not- yeah,
So he
yeah.
wants to try and avoid that. I said, no, when you do that, you haven't gotten your answer.
Yes.
You'll still be going about asking questions.
And
Maybe
then
you'll
you
get it from the
and you
wrong
will
places.
definitely get it from the
Even
wrong
if,
source.
I said, even if I shout at you, you will not die, would you?
Right. Right.
He says no.
Right.
Like she's in my house.
Until yesterday, then my niece picked up a habit of telling me what happens. And said, Auntie, hurry up, I have some. And I was surprised.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have some news for you. So I said, I wanted the news right. I said, get off your motorbike before I tell you. Right? So that it picked,
She's
and then started telling me what
Right.
happened in school and all that. Then we got to know that he gets bullied at home. Because when he is at school, when he comes, he looks pale and, don't you eat your food? That some seniors have been taking
collecting
my
my
food.
food.
Oh,
Corruption.
It's everywhere.
damn.
And he kept quiet because they felt like if he comes to tell,
They'll handle. They'll
Exactly.
beat her. They'll handle her.
It's every
it's
look.
serious. It's serious.
Let me even give you
Right.
let me upset you a bit. The tricycles we have in town, call yellow. For you to understand why they are misbehaving and everybody is quiet. The last time I spoke with the chairman, he said they are over 6,000. Let's assume
Yellows.
yes. So let's forget about the plus on the 6,000. Let's assume they are 6,000. 6,000. 6,000. They pay 15 Ghana cedi per head every month.
Chimo, hold on.
So, yes,
Per month.
head.
I'm
Yes.
coming. 15 cedis.
15 Ghana cedis.
Times
You multiply
6.
by 6,000. 15
So
Ghana
like
cedis.
90K
It gives you 90K. That's 1 month.
for one
For the
month.
15.
That money is going to who?
Penalty is not there. So if you are not able to pay it exactly on the day, you pay penalty of 20 Ghana cedis.
Wait,
So you
let me
wait.
change-
Forget the penalty. You forget the penalty.
No, sir.
90,000, 900 million all cedis. That's for all of them 1 month. Multiply it by 1 year. Multiply by 12.
Hey,
Multiply by 12.
so 90
It gives you
Almost a million.
1
12.
million
1 million new Ghana
and 80,000
new
Ghana
currency
cedis.
for a year.
That's a year. And somebody is a mayor, somebody is a chief executive officer, rule for 4 years. That's just one of the revenue streams in our
He
various
gets.
assemblies. You understand what I mean? And I'm talking about just Tamale Metro. This is just Tamale Metro.
Saranagu is not part
of. Saranagu no dey inside.
Now, because my main concern is
So you
how we deal with
So
this.
you
How do we-
you now understand why they are on the street and nobody is talking.
Right.
Because somebody is cashing in.
Yeah.
How do we deal with it, like you said? It begins from the conversation that we are having.
Exactly.
But the conversation alone does not end the canker.
Yeah.
Don't forget, there are laws at the assemblies that regulate how monies enter in there. Any money that is meant for the assembly is supposed to go to the assembly. But why are these monies not getting to the assembly? Why? Leakages. Before it gets there, it drops. Before it even gets to assembly, that quantum or the money that gets to the assembly is nothing to write home about.
It's
Meaning
slashed.
it cannot do it. It's slashed, completely edited. So portion has to go to A, portion has to go to B. The question is today, if you ask the assembly that all this while that yellow or tricycles have been operating in Tamale for all these years, how much money, what is the figure? They can't tell you. I challenge them. We have done this report. I have personally done this report and asked them questions. No answer till date. And the guys are furious. And if you see them parked in town, directly under where it will cause traffic,
Road, on the
don't be
road.
surprised.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't be
wow.
surprised
They've been
because
allowed to do
the
so.
money,
Oh, yeah.
the money they are paying, they know it goes to somebody's pocket. The one who's supposed to say, look, move away from there.
Yeah.
Since the money is in his pocket,
Oh,
what do you expect me to do?
Nothing.
To sack them? How,
Nah,
does, the,
like-
how does the
How
money
will
go
the
in
money
his
come
pocket
back?
again?
he won't get his source of
So
revenue.
it
Because-
starts with behavioral
What is the
change.
name? If
Exactly.
you take the central mosque route,
Right.
where the GN Bank used to be. You come towards to Kef, towards the, what is the name?
You mean CBG?
To the roundabout.
Around the, is that CBG? Thank you, around the CBG. Over there. I mean, if you are from the Agbosa side, coming all the way from, Bank of Africa, that intersection.
It's
over
always
there.
frustrating.
Yellow is parked. They are parked there.
Oh yes, unfortunately,
And
that's where I
loading.
enter.
So you ask yourself, why are you loading here? You tell you we don't have a place to go. Before now, where are you parking? This is the reason.
Right.
They pay these huge monies to the assembly. And somebody has been mandated with that responsibility to ensure that they have a safe place to park for them to load their passengers or customers.
Exactly.
But the person is perhaps cashing in. So allow them to work if you want to touch them. And you'll see, finally, the political interference. We've been talking about this over and over. You see the cars I just spoke about, the ones directly outside the STC. It is a contract they gave someone. Find them a place to park. At the end of the day, they will give you something. And that's a business somebody has gotten like that.
Wow.
And out of that, he gives something to the assembly.
Of course.
This is the chain. So they give him, he gives something to assembly gives something to somebody and the guys are there. Oh, Charlie, they are party guys. So if we touch them, they can come there and remove the assembly. What is the name? The Metropolitan Chief Executive or whoever is in charge. But because ask yourself, how will vigilantes have the audacity to just get up and go to, for example, TTH and break an office and tell
The
Chief
CEO
Executive that leave
to
the
get
office? How will they? Who
Hey.
Let's. I think it's even an hour already. So let's look at what we can do as young people. Like,
So-
we understand how difficult it is,
Right.
but it has to start from somewhere. Rama talks about the advocacy,
Right.
and also the
Creating awareness.
exactly. In your opinion, what do you think we can do? Especially, I'm very more particular about young people
Right.
because we are coming to take the mantle of leadership,
Right.
and also those who are coming after us will also learn from us.
Yeah.
If we don't bridge that gap, it means that it's definitely going to continue.
Yeah.
What should we do?
So, like the pastors and imam will tell us that don't look at what I do, listen to what I say. Us, it begins with all of us. Rama said advocacy. For those who are activists, we should keep speaking. We should not stop speaking.
Yep.
If you look at the Tamale Hangout, they are doing a fantastic
Right.
job.
I mean-
Everywhere
I mean,
they are there.
big
Issues
shouts
of
to them.
drugs,
Right.
issues of development
Right.
in Tamale. They are a voice to the youth.
Yeah.
If you look at Concern Youth of Tamale, if
Right.
that's the right
Another-
name.
Yes, Concern Youth of
Alafie
Tamale.
Alafie Lana, and then
Yes.
it's Sharon Dems.
Right.
It's something
I'm part
they've
of
also
them too.
picked up.
Right.
You are part
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
So it is something that the youth, all of us, are beginning to realize that if we are not the voice to some of these issues, it won't work.
It won't work.
Look,
Right.
you see, we are tired of being accused,
Yeah.
and we no longer feel the pinch. So whatever comments or the troll you write on social media,
It's not my business.
it doesn't work anymore. So the advocacy, like she said, yes, let's begin with advocacy. Behind the microphone, we'll keep talking. But for me, attitude. If you are not, trust me, your children will copy. You see, what we were taught in the house is what we practice outside. You drink, you dump it. You eat, you don't wash the bowls and you leave it.
Not
If
in
you go
my
out,
house.
it's the same thing
Yeah.
you will do. You understand?
Yeah.
And so what we practice in the house, what we teach our younger siblings, what we teach our children is what they will carry outside.
Right. Right.
So if you teach your child that if you get share, how are you teaching the child? You are sharing with the child in the house, even though the child is holding some, but you feel like, let's share mine. The child is learning.
Yeah.
The child gets to school and begin to share. I have enough in my hand. A child is carrying 2 yogurts. Cannot eat it all. I have to give somebody one. You are teaching the child to learn how to share.
And even when it's not enough, they still
Want to share because they feel like,
Yes.
no, you don't have one.
Any attitude.
Let me
Yeah.
share. So attitude. So in the house, that's why, I don't know, they say now children cannot be beaten again. So we cannot beat our siblings and all that. But we were beaten. We were seriously beaten.
Did we die?
Did we? Look, mistakes, common mistakes. Sometimes common mistake.
You chop slap.
You go and then you come home around. You are there and they are playing some jams. You go to monitor. You are watching how people are dancing.
You
come home
and
in
miss your
6.
cane there.
They said, look, don't get to the house. Well, for me, who is a Muslim, say, look, don't get to the house before the call of azan, before the call for 6 p.m. prayer. No, 6 p.m.
In the evening, yeah.
In the evening.
Sorry.
Then you get there, hey, before you get there, they've already finished prayer.
Yeah,
you know you are
trouble for
dead.
you.
Just
You know today, dear. So you are ready for the beatings. You are there and your mama will say, go inside and pick this thing for me.
I know that.
You know this room. You know if you enter this room,
You are finished.
you just peep through the veranda and say,
dead.
it's not there. Say, I know it's on the table.
They
Go
will
and
push
bring
you
it.
inside and go there.
You enter now, you know, Charlie.
Oh, God.
You're
Where did
all
you go?
finished.
Hey, they will beat. So the following day, you don't know. I should not go back there again. Even if I go, I know that I should not be there before 6
Yeah.
p.m.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Now we cannot beat. Like she said, that's the advocacy. So we begin to imbibe in the smaller ones that, look, we cannot beat you today. But you see, what is not yours is not yours.
Bam.
So if it's not yours and you are crying, you can't get it. Forget it. Let the child cry.
Yes.
But you see, I don't know whether if we still do it. The child is crying. Hey, Charlie, he's crying. Just give it to him. You know it's not his, but you are still giving it to the child.
Yeah.
So the child grows with that mentality, feeling that even if it is not mine, I can get it.
I am entitled to
I'm
it.
entitled to it. That is the root of corruption.
Right.
So for me, attitudinal or our attitude, when we're able to deal with our attitude, knowing that I'm at the traffic, all of us, I'm actually guilty, to be frank with you. For me, when I get there, it is, for example, in the evening or in the night, and there's nobody there.
Oh, that one there.
You are watching and you are like, in your heart, you know, Charlie, don't go. I said, there's nobody there. You are gone. But you see, the attitude is such that because we know there's nobody, but there are some, even if the traffic is congested, it's red.
They will still go.
You
They'll
want-
still move.
Or recently, final point, then my colleague comes in. At the, what is the Zobeli traffic light? It was red. And then he was about to go and then the other side green. Then pine. You know what everybody said? That let him pay. He will pay for this bike.
Who will pay for the
Nobody-
bike?
I mean,
The
the,
one
the
who-
woman
who-
he hit. Nobody is feeling sympathy for you.
Because
so
you-
look,
you
like
didn't
it's
follow
red.
the
Where are you
traffic.
going?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Okay,
let him
thank
pay.
you.
And the guy was like, "Oh, they sent me and I was in a hurry."
Oh,
Which one?
that's
the
not my
problem.
business.
That's still not it.
No, that's
I
not
said-
an excuse.
And look, the woman had some bruises. They said, look at what you've done. Take it. Young guy, he should be in his teens or
The
something.
bike, that means the bike was not
Oh,
even for him.
He's not even
So
registered
you
to
see,
ride in the first
number
place.
one, it's not your bike, perhaps. Number two, the woman is injured. The bike is fault. You've broken some covers. You have to pay for all this. And everybody over there, you know, when an accident happens, everybody feels
wants, yeah.
sorry for whoever is involved. But in this case, they were only sorry for the victim. I said, this guy,
He
you
must
must
pay.
Because they
pay.
all saw what you did.
they saw what you did. So for me, attitude. Let's deal
Right.
with our attitude.
Attitude.
And like she said, we cannot completely deal with it, but we'll begin from
At least,
somewhere.
at least,
At
yeah.
least, yeah.
Kenny, do you
Yeah.
do you think that, because for me, I always believe in the fact that they say charity starts at home.
Of course.
Don't you think that, like, putting some of these or studying corruption-related subjects in school, especially from the basic level, can encourage or can help, you know, young ones coming? At least we are far gone, but those coming to be very much aware of, like, the impact of corruption. I mean,
If you say
in our
far,
everyday
well, don't
lives.
kill us. If you say far, we are far gone.
No, we are not far gone. There's some type
Eraba
of
here
hope.
has confessed. You have done same.
Well, we are not far gone. We are still in the system.
We are still hoping.
Hopefully,
We are still
we
hoping.
can also, you know, do.
Yeah.
I mean, change something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think education
Yes.
is going to help us in one way or the other from
I
our basic
think
schools?
from the basic schools is extremely important. That is one of the reasons why I'm homeschooling my children. I sent them to the public school for the first time when they came to Tamale. I noticed the type of education they were getting, and I realized that if I am not careful, I will bring up entitled, snobbish, violent children if I'm not careful. Because I was like, what is going on? The amount of corruption alone in the basic schools. between each other. Somebody doesn't understand the language, so you bully the person because of that. Down to even learning, their grades started dropping because they didn't understand the language. So I said, you know what, let me take my things out. I took them, I kept them for 2 years and did my own homeschooling. Just from that one alone, my two of them, they can speak the Gbani fluently and write the Gbani fluently. They can speak the Fulbe, their language, because they're just a Fulbe person opposite. And for me, I don't do the, come home at this time. I expect you to know what time you're supposed to come home. This one, I give you, if you come home at a certain time, you not come home. Me, I know what to do. I mean, they cannot beat us now. We can't beat them. That's the problem. And I try to avoid beating because sometimes you can be so angry. You can mistakenly injure the child beyond the way you want to caution the child. So there are times when I'll sit my children down. You don't know why I'm negotiating with you. The reason why I'm negotiating with you is not because of anything. If they catch you, I think there was just recently, the one I read, I just saw it on Twitter. I follow Ghana police on X, and they brought a report that a 12-year-old boy who they caught stealing 200 cedis, they tied him like goats.
Yeah,
like
I
he's
saw that
completely
yesterday.
naked. Look, they beat. Shit out of him. That was so wrong.
Yeah.
Immediately they went and picked them up and arrested them. Yeah. So I sat there and I showed my boy the picture that, look, this is just 200 cedis is stole. If I calculate the money the two of you have ganged up and picked, this one they are doing is small. So this is why I ask you that even if you are going to do it in my house and I'm cautioning you to stop, I am telling you that because when you go out, they will put tire on you, put fuel on you, and they will not consider where you are coming from. The fact that your mother is not already from here alone is already a minus.
They're dead and gone.
Nobody knows where you are coming from. It's already a minus. So when they are shouting for help, they will put you in trouble first before any other person. So I think one of the ways we can really, really try is from yourself, attitudinal. Like the same way I would decide that I am not going to be corrupt in anything I do. I'm going to do it fair and square. If it is going to warrant me doing, I would prefer to sleep in my house and drink water.
But you don't think the school can play a role?
Yeah,
the school can play a very huge role. But we're talking about the resources that are barely there. The curriculum is barely, it's rubbish. I'm sorry. The curriculum does not even cater for anything. Look at the King Paluta song that they brought into the BEC exam. Forgetting that it's not everybody that speaks Tree. And you want them to write and pass that exam. That is another type of corruption. Automatically, we are being biased. So why did they bring in a fancy Ghana song too for them to also write?
In our education?
Look, there's so much to be done. I don't even know because it didn't make any sense. There's so much work that needs to be done with the educational institutions, and that segregation of private school and public school. Look, my daughter will come and be like, those private school children, the way they behave, they are so snobbish.
I think we find time to talk about
and I'm like, my daughter, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. They've made them think they are more important because their children, their mothers or parents are paying a lot of money for them to watch them. So how do I explain to this child that it is not your fault, it is the system? That is how the system is. Right. So we are hoping that with time, constant advocacy, as she said, raising awareness, talking about it, constantly reminding ourselves that we need to support each other. A good example is women against women. This thing has been an issue for a very, very long time. If not for some of us that have been extremely intentional, we say, Lila, we can't keep doing this to ourselves. Right. If we don't come together and fight together, push together, nothing will be done.
We have a lot more conversations on those.
Definitely.
Those
so starts from you. Right. You make up your mind. As long as you do it, everybody will copy you.
Yeah.
All right. So, Irama, I would want you to touch briefly on the education in Ghana. What do you think that policymakers should look into with regards to corruption? Or you think that these are the people who are even engaged in it, so they won't be bothered to?
Well, I feel like it should be inculcated into the curriculums. Right. No. Homeschooling, like she was saying, it's not wrong for you to bring it to school. Yeah. No, we back in our days we have these cultural studies, where you would think they're teaching you culture, but then they're teaching you some etiquette,
life skills. Yeah.
What happens to that etiquette for boys and girls, whatever? That thing that we used to, small books that they used to give to us to read by force. Yeah. You get it? Even though they are not your parents, they teach you out at school. Right. You get home and you know what you are supposed to do when you get home. But now they don't do that.
Yeah.
So you think
Your child comes home and first thing he's going to do is pick up a remote.
to watch
Why?
TV?
You get. So
No,
I
got
think
all the remote.
we need we
not
need
yours.
we need to I think
Now become
rethink the
my
school
house.
system. Now it's even confusing.
TV,
We don't even know what is going up and we don't know how it's
What is-
going.
right.
Before you realize, why are you not in school? We are in vacation. Why are you in vacation? But there are some people
Other
going.
at your school.
We are gold and green, and I don't
Right.
even get. So we're
To be
not
frank
even
with you,
keeping up.
I don't understand the system.
I can't keep up.
Personally, I don't.
You
And it
let
was
a
supposed
child
to
come
help.
home and stay at home like for 3, 4 months. What
Before
is
they
the
go.
child doing 3, 4 months?
It's
at
not like
home?
I said there's any option again. no.
Exactly.
Those are those of us who stay through outside. We know the sit up.
Right.
Then you go there and come back
It's
home.
it's
So
hard,
I
it's
think
hard.
we need to tighten it up. I think it's too loose now.
Yeah.
Tell me why a child can take a knife to school and says, "I'm going to
It's-
hurt
it's
somebody."
crazy.
Exactly, a weapon, and you, the parent, are not even aware.
Right?
You
Tell
don't
me
know
why
your child's mental
a
state.
kid is riding a motorbike, the motorbike that I am afraid when I'm even on, and picked his other younger siblings.
They are going to
They are going
school.
to school
4 of
on
them.
at top speed.
Say 4 or 5.
Tell me why.
Wow.
The school is not cautioning them. The parent is not cautioning them. So they feel they are free to do whatever they're
Right.
doing.
Right.
So we need to these strict, and we didn't die when we.
Yeah,
I
when we were-
mean, that's what I always say. We didn't die.
Yeah.
It has groomed us to be who we are right now. But now a kid will get up. Sometimes I see that in my niece. I talk to her. I say, "Look, are you talking to me like that?"
Hey, thank you. Like she's in my house.
We say, "Oh, auntie, sorry." Now when she even say that sorry, the expression on her face, like,
Is it me?
You know, before now, people were thinking the Gen Zs are the most difficult ones.
the
No,
alpha
the
ones
Gen
are
X,
worse. So
the
the
alpha-
Those small,
the alpha-
the smaller ones.
alphas, they're the alphas. The alphas are worse.
But then
My Lord, my God.
And they will even correct you.
the Alphas are.
I say, Mama, it's
are
not like
something
that.
else.
Oh, it's like this. And I'm like, hey, is it me? You are using that tone of voice to speak truth?
Well,
It's okay.
I would send her, then she would have changed. It says, I be this one, I'm keeping it. I'm like, you have the option to ask me you are keeping it. Am I not the one who will tell you to keep it?
Right,
No,
guys.
no.
I think
No, you are
time
taking
is
those
time is
steps.
far
You
gone.
see, so
Yeah,
we
they-
need to.
for
I
them,
mean, we are going to
own
have a
it.
lot more of these conversations as time goes by. So, right, guys, this has been a very engaging and important conversation for us as young people. And I think for me, my takeaway is that we should be. It should start from us.
Yes, and we vocal about
aside the advocacy, we should put a practical. We should be example for the community or for others to follow, and also aside the other, what's the name? Aside the institutional corruption, petty corruption is also something that nurtures us into
The bigger ones.
the bigger ones as well. So
Absolutely.
it's important we stop the petty ones, stealing meat from the soup, and all that, jumping traffic and all of
there's a
that.
direct
That is
bullet.
where
I can feel
that
it.
is where it's supposed to stop and to start. And then
Yes.
as we grow, we become used to refusing things that are given to us as gifts. And I was particularly happy with the example of Yaps Sanarna.
Yes.
And I mean, he is somebody, on any day, you can beat your chest and say,
in time no day.
Yeah,
Right.
I think I need to go. Our lecturer used to use him as
As
example.
an example, yeah.
So
Yes.
when I'm
Yeah.
giving the research assignments, you are going to him and all that. So
Right.
I'm
He's
waiting
a
out
different
to
kind
see.
of person.
Right.
Wow.
So, guys,
Fantastic.
you've heard how the conversations went. We would like to know your thoughts in the comment section as well. And also be an example to your community. As usual, my name is Prince. I'm done. And we'll be back with more. Peace. We out.